For 21 years, I served as a municipal clerk, and I cannot tell you how many elections, 100 elections plus. I had 18 districts, I had 8 polling places, I had 80 poll workers. And I directed those poll workers, and I can tell you that the majority of the poll workers are elderly people. And as I would assign them to the districts and where they would be working, they always would question me as to if the police were going to, drive by or pass through. I had an agreement with my police department that they would visit each of the polling places several times a day, drive through, walk through, and leave. But my poll workers felt secure by them doing that. And I never had a problem. If anything, they helped me tremendously in trying to keep, and most of the time, I'll be honest, it ended up being poll workers fighting amongst each other, where even I had to go out to the site myself and break up what was going on. But I always knew that I had the police officers there, and at the schools, they literally, because we had direct access from the outside in, so they didn't have to walk through the schools, I had them sitting out in the parking lots in the larger districts where I had a lot more people going in, and where I knew as a municipal clerk that I had an issue and I had past problems there. So when I look at this bill, I look at it taking away some of that direction and responsibility that I had as a municipal clerk, and making sure that my community was safe, not only for the individuals that were going there to vote, but for all my poll workers who were elderly. And the police officers would literally be in the parking lots in dark areas and in rural areas and sit there to make sure at the end of the night when the polls were closed that they were safe. So I asked the sponsor to take a look at the bill and maybe approve, because maybe, in areas of the state, they don't want pass through, but there are areas of the state where it's very rural and dark and in isolated areas that they do want the police passing through. I know, I lived that life for 21 years in every election, whether it was a primary, a general, a special, a school board. We did the school board budgets for years, or the fire districts. So, I'm saying to you that I don't want to see happen where the police are in a position of not even wanting to go to the polling place because they don't want anybody to say they did something wrong. I think this will deflect them from even going there, and I think that we, as legislators, have the responsibility to think of everybody, and not just the police and where they may be or not be, but the protection of the poll workers and the others that are involved in the election process. So I ask you to please consider to maybe amend the bill to allow them to do pass-through, if chosen or asked by the municipal clerk or the city clerk. As a past municipal clerk in all the elections that I did, I counted on my police department to make sure that my polling places were okay and safe. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.